Well, it's been a hell of a month for musicians getting hit by flying objects on stage. First there was Eric Clapton, who was hit by a vinyl record missile. Who does that, man? Well, it was enough for Eric to end the show early without coming back for the planned encore. And rather more seriously, Ollie Sykes of Bring Me the Horizon was hit by an airborne mobile phone and suffered a concussion. Now, these two videos seem to have brought back a mass panic in the media of this new trend of people throwing items.
This is just the latest chapter in a disturbing industry-wide epidemic of crowds throwing heavy, dangerous objects at performers. We've seen country stars left bloody and massive pop acts like BB Rexha and Harry Styles getting struck in the face.
And while I'm obviously against musicians being hit by flying missiles, I was certain that it's not anything new. And this led me down quite the rabbit hole to find some of the craziest incidents in gig chucking history. Almost 200 years ago, Hungarian composer Franz Liszt was the victim of a phenomenon known as listomania, which involved throwing flowers and other souvenirs at the onstage musicians. Meanwhile, in the music halls, it was not uncommon for dissatisfied audience members to throw rotten tomatoes and other assorted rancid vegetables at the performers. Fast forward to 1944, at a concert at New York's Paramount Theatre, a young Frank Sinatra had eggs thrown at him by a very angry man. He then proceeded to have the absolute living shite kicked out of him by a mob of Sinatra's teenage female fans and had to be rescued by the police. What a dipstick. In the 60s, the Beatles grew used to items being thrown on stage during their mad bloody concerts, but they got particularly tired of jelly beans. After George Harrison said it was his favourite sweet in an interview, fans would bring in bags of them especially to throw on stage.
You aren't too appreciative of all the jelly beans being thrown at you on your tour.
No, it's a bit dangerous, you know, because jelly bean travelling about 50 miles an hour through the air, if it hits you in the eye, well, you're finished, you know, you're blind.
And a trend which began at Tom Jones concerts and still continues to this day is women throwing their knickers at him.
You know, and that was the problem. I became like a knicker magnet.
What you did.
In the 70s, professional pillock Sid Vicious would actively encourage people to throw items in typical acts of self-destruction. He also caused a very serious incident when he was an audience member himself.
On September 21st, the Dam played the second night of the infamous 100 Club punk festival. Unfortunately, the Dam set was overshadowed by Sid Vicious lobbing a pint glass at the stage, shattering and showering the front row with glass. Some poor girl lost an eye because of that wanker.
Heading into the 80s, who could forget this infamous Blues Brothers performance? Or possibly the most well-known incident of all, Ozzy Osbourne biting the head of a bat that was thrown at him. And in the 90s, the historic Green Day mud fight that started a riot at Woodstock 94. The 2000s saw a trend of bottling. A barrage of plastic bottles would be launched at musicians, seemingly whether the audience was enjoying the show or not. And sometimes they weren't plastic.
Hello!
And then we move into the camera phone age, where I believe that although it seems that there are more of these incidents occurring, I think it's just because more people are filming them. But while I was gathering evidence for this research project, I found something that was rather interesting to me personally, and I think for a lot of people who watch this channel too. This is a clip of The Damned a few years ago, almost pulling the plug on a gig after a drink was thrown.
I wasn't one pinch, I had about 5. I'm not putting up with it. Can you throw the person out who's throwing stuff at me?
Absolutely will.
So what are you doing about it? Don't tell me, tell them.
But this long-lost footage from 1996, now on YouTube, shows what absolute carnage their gigs could be. How did they even perform in these conditions? And this one's significant because here's the moment bass player Paul Gray gets hit by a drink, causing him to leave the stage and the band on the spot. But really, this whole video has just been building up to this one very important message that I'm about to give you. So please pay attention. As this year's summer gigs approach, please Don't be the drunken twat that ruins it for everyone by throwing shit at the musicians. Thank you.